were times I doubted if I should become an event curator. The long hours, too many people's opinions, but now I know it's my calling because I love to see the expression on people's faces when they have a great time at my events.
Hey everyone, it's Neffy Anderson here with a brand new episode of The Path Less Traveled. Today's guest is event curator, blogger, and Ebony Magazine digital production coordinator, Genese Jamilah. Woo! Now let me give you the rundown on Genese. Woo! Genese is most known for being the founder and editor-in-chief of I Don't Do Clubs, a blog for Black professionals looking for social events outside of the typical nightclub scene. You know what I'm talking about. You know, when you go and they like stepping on your feet and spilling drinks on you, and then when you look around, everyone in there, you wouldn't even consider talking to, let alone dancing with. Yeah. Well, this girl right here, she created a solution for that. IDon'tDoClubs.com is the digital destination for altogether different way to party, from brunches to mixers to day parties, cultural events, everything in between. Genese, we're so happy to have you.
Thank you for having me.
Ooh. Okay, so let's jump right in.
Okay.
So you started this back in 2011.
Right.
What would you say you did to deliberately brand yourself in this space?
I don't think I did that much branding just because there wasn't anything out there like it.
Right.
When I first started I Don't Do Clubs, I was really heavy on Twitter. So I was talking to people. So when I started creating the blog and posting things, it was easy to get people on board because they already kind of knew me as my Twitter name, which was Random Brown Girl. So that's kind of how I guess branded myself, because there was no competition. It was like, oh, well, I don't like clubs. Like, what about this brunch? What about this mixer? And it's all in one place. You don't have to search for anything.
Right. Talk to me about one thing that most people don't know about your journey to where you are now.
Okay. The second year of I Don't Do Clubs, I was over it. I wanted to shut the site down. I was tired of people asking me questions about events. I was tired of all the freelance writers I had not doing their job. And if someone would have said, I'll buy I Don't Do Clubs for you for $10, I would have sold it.
No, $10?
Yes. I was tired. I was done. I felt like I looked tired in all my pictures. I wasn't happy. And then I had a few friends pull me to the side and say, you got to make some cuts because they're draining you and it's not going to propel your business if you keep these people around. Right. So I made those cuts, and since then it's just been easy sailing.
So these cuts were they staff? Were they interns? Were they freelancers? Who were the people you had to weed out?
They were freelance writers for every city. So I was trying to give a wider view of all the events in other cities. And I know DC and I know Atlanta, I'm from Atlanta, but I don't really know what's going on like I do in New York. So I got writers for every city. And They all started off very strong and very excited, and then maybe by month 1, month 2, kind of started to fall off, kind of be half-assed, I'm just gonna throw this to you and you make the edits when that's your job to make the edits. So I was working nonstop. My weekends were at the computer, day to night, fixing I Don't Do Clubs.
Wow.
So much so that New York was getting neglected. I couldn't even think about New York because I was doing every other city. And then I would go look at the numbers, the analytics.
Right.
And it'd be so it would be nothing. I'm like, this is not, I can't live off this. I want this to be a full-time job.
Right.
I know how websites work. I work on websites. This is not going to pay any bills.
Right.
So when I made the cuts, I just emailed them all and said, thank you for all your work, but I'm going in a different direction. If you'd like to stay on, I will pay you.
Right.
However, there are going to be a lot of different, a lot of requirements. And all of them said pretty much no.
Right.
And that was okay because I feel like I work better alone anyway.
Yeah. Wow. So you do have a full-time job that you balance along with running I Don't Do Clubs. So it takes a bit of time management.
Right.
Talk to me about the jobs that you had prior to this one. So being at Ebony, but you also worked at Scholastic. You did some stuff for Six Flags. How did those experiences help to develop your baby?
Okay, well, I've worked a lot of places. I'll go through the list. I worked at Top Point Communications, which was a corporate webcasting company.
Okay.
That's where I learned to code.
Okay.
So that's how I know the back end of things. And I had never done digital before or websites before in my life. I applied for an entry-level position in New York when I still lived in Georgia.
Okay.
I got the job and I just decided to move. So that's the first job.
Okay.
Then I went to NBC because I was like, I want to be on TV. Not on TV, I wanted to work in a TV station.
Right.
I was at NBC for 3 months before I got laid off.
Okay.
And I was like, great, I love this kind of cushy job at Top Point to come to NBC, and now I'm back on the job market.
Right.
Then I got hired by Bridal Guide magazine. I was like, oh, I love weddings. This should be fun.
Right.
And it was cool, but it was also kind of just dragging. But that's the first time I started working with bloggers. And I was like, this is kind of cool. Like, people like kind of just write about what they want to write about all day long, and they get to get all these products and go to these events.
Right.
That was my first introduction into blogging.
Okay.
After Bridal Guide, where did I go? I got laid off from Bridal Guide.
Yeah. Wait, so what is happening with the layoff? Let's take a pause.
Okay.
So what happened with, what was it, Top Point? No, you left Top Point to go to NBC. What happened
I went
with
to
NBC?
NBC's Weather Plus station, which was like their weather channel.
Yeah.
And the Weather Channel bought Weather Plus.
Okay.
So that's what happened. So they pretty much cut all the staff.
Okay.
I guess I could have had the option to go back to Georgia, where the Weather Channel is based, but I was like, I don't want to go. Like, I like it here now.
Yeah.
So that's what happened. It was also during the recession, so that's really what was bringing down everything.
Right.
Then I went to Bridal Guide, and I think I was at Bridal Guide maybe like 7 months.
Yeah.
And then I got laid off, but they felt really bad about laying me off, so they kept me on as a freelancer doing social media.
Was that due to the recession as well?
Yeah, all this was during the recession.
Okay.
And I was the youngest person on the team.
Yeah.
I was like, do you have a Facebook page? I was like, yeah, I have one since college.
Yeah.
Can you make our Facebook page? Sure. Oh, do you know about this thing called Twitter?
Yeah.
I was like, well, I don't know, I'll Google it. So that's how I just kind of started doing social media. So for a while, I did social media as a full-time freelancer at a lot of different companies.
Okay.
So then I got tired of that. I was like, well, I want something a little more stable. So I went after Six Flags, which was a full-time freelance job, but it was like real salary, not benefits. So that was cool. I learned a lot about, I guess, editing, because at other jobs, I just kind of copied and pasted the copy, but they wanted me to edit.
So let's make it clear, you're working on the Six Flag website.
Yeah, website. I think it was 16 websites.
Because some people might be thinking you was working the rides, girl.
No. I was in the corporate office. It's in New York. I think they were in Times Square. Now they're in like Fifth Avenue or something. But every park has their own website.
Okay.
And every website has their own website producer, but a lot of them were like a marketing person or like a salesperson, so they didn't know websites.
Right.
So there's a lot of me teaching and editing and making sure that a site looked consistent across the board, which I think helped me a lot with Island Plus, because I am really a stickler on punctuation and capitalization and everything, so you can't tell that someone else is editing something because I have a style guide.
Right.
Then I got laid off. Then I got a job opportunity at Hot 97 because my friend worked there. Okay. And it was a salary that was half my current salary. And I was like, how can I live off this? Blah, blah, blah. He was like, just take it. Yeah. And then you leave and you get something else. Right. So I took it. And I really had a great time at Hot 97. You know, the concerts, the people, it was a great experience, but no money. Right. I was also like the only writer on the team, so I edited everything. Oh my goodness. Summer Jam stuff, daily stuff. So it was going to be like using those skills. Yeah. So I got another job at Scholastic. I think I was at Hot 97 maybe 7 months or so. Okay. So I was like, okay, go to Scholastic, another full-time freelance job. There for 3 months, got laid off again. Right. And that's when I decided to leave New York. I was like, I'm done. New York doesn't like me. My parents were like trying to like second guess my choice. Like, you know, maybe this website thing really isn't what you should be doing. Like, you know, you keep getting laid off. Maybe you're not that good at it. Yeah. And I was like, well, I mean, I can't really help the economy, but I definitely was like not feeling New York. Yeah. Then my friend Jamilah, who I met on Twitter years ago, got hired at the new ebony.com. And she was like, oh, you should come interview. I was like, girl, I'm not doing freelance again. I want to have benefits. I'm tired of like the back and forth. She's like, just come and meet my boss. She's cool. So I did. Her name was Karen Mayo. She started Honey Magazine. And it was a really good interview. I didn't even care. Which is probably why it was a great interview. So I was marketing like,
oh my goodness.
You know, okay, you know, whatever. And this is what I need to do this. And this is the salary I need. And they agreed to it. So that's why I ended up at Ebony after all that time. Wow. And I decided to stay in New York because of Ebony.
Wow, that's amazing. And you've been here now for like going on 3 or 4 years?
Oh, I'll be 4 years in November.
Wow. That's amazing. So all of those, I like how all of those experiences though help to play a part in, you know, you building up your entrepreneurial endeavor, you know? What would you say is one thing that you know now that you wish you knew when you first started I Don't Do Clubs?
Well, I wish I would have come with the idea for I Don't Do Clubs years ago, because I definitely had a lot of downtime. Yeah. With all the layoffs. So I could have been building the company the whole time. Yeah. But not much. I think every experience has helped me with having my own company, because I know how to code things. I know how to fix things that maybe another blogger might have to always send out for help. I can do it myself. Right.
So what would you say is the most difficult part? Since you wear so many hats, what would you say is the most difficult part about managing and running this?
Honestly, the most difficult part is when people try to sidetrack me with like nonsense emails. Yeah. And I get a lot of those now. So a lot of times I'm thinking like, you're wasting my time. Like if I wasn't going back and forth with you about something that does not even matter, I could be building my site more. So that's really the hardest thing.
What would you say has been your last career low?
Okay.
And how did you bounce back from that?
After Six Flags, I was laid off for about 6 months. So I depleted my savings and I wasn't getting any money coming in. So that was really like, maybe this isn't the place for me. Maybe I should go somewhere else because like I'm back basically where I started after having all those years of saving and like doing well.
Yeah.
And then not being able to like, you know, go to happy hour or get a shirt from a store, like that tears you down to where like I can't do anything but kind of sit in this apartment that I'm paying too much money for anyway.
Yeah. So how did you bounce back from that feeling of just like disappointment and frustration?
And my mom was just like, you know, you can't cry over spilled milk. Like the money's gone. She's like, that's what it's there for. Savings are there for rainy days. You had rainy days. You can build it back. It's just money. And I was like, you know, that's right. Like I can't get so hung up on a dollar amount.
Yeah. In you working at these different places, you mentioned that you being young and knowing social media really helped to kind of like add to your value. How would you say you're using social media strategically to help further your brand?
Well, Facebook is a great resource for all bloggers because you can tailor your posts to reach certain audiences, more so than Twitter. So Facebook has been great with maybe targeting a post to Atlanta or targeting it to New York to make sure certain people see it. And you might not know that if you don't really know like the options that Facebook has. It's not just for contacting your friends, it's really where you can build your business.
Right.
And you can also see how many people are sharing your article and who's liking it and that type of thing.
Right.
Instagram, I didn't really like Instagram at first. I was like, another thing to manage. Yeah. But I don't really, Instagram is fun to me because I just put up quotes I like.
Yeah.
Like people are always like, is something mad? Are you mad at someone? Like, no, it's just something, it's just a quote. So that's fun. And I think it makes people see like she has a personality too, not just events.
Right.
So I really don't focus on events on Instagram.
Yeah. Now I follow the Instagram. Instagram, you guys follow I Don't Do Clubs on Instagram. And I think that's the handle for all of the social media properties. But the Instagram is something to see, you know.
It definitely grew like in this year. Now it's at 12,000.
Wow. I read that in starting I Don't Do Clubs, you happened upon a book that really gave you the push. Right. So tell us the name of that book and some other resources that you spent or invested in to help further grow you as a young professional. Okay.
Well, to start, I never had the idea. It wasn't like I had the idea to start I Don't Do Clubs and then I read the book.
Right.
I was reading the book called The Laws of Blogging, which is by Angel Laws, who started Concrete Loop. So I bought the book, and while I was reading the book, I was writing down notes, and I was like, oh, this would be a good blog idea. So that's how I came with I Don't Do Clubs. It wasn't an idea before that. But I love to learn. If I don't know something, I will Google it before I ask people.
Right.
So that's just kind of how I've always been.
Wow. So that book meshed with you kind of not having an outlet or a way to hang out, right? Yeah. That you actually like. That's how I Don't Do Clubs came, because I know that's like a big question. Everybody wants to know, how did it come about?
Well, it came about that way, the blog specifically, but when I first moved to New York, I didn't know anyone. I had like 2 friends, like my brother's now wife, she was his girlfriend then, and like maybe 2 people I went to college with, but I wasn't really friends with them. Like we just went to college together, so we kind of hung out, but we weren't really friends.
Right.
And I've always been, not to blow my own horn, but I've always been popular. Like I've always been on homecoming court at SGA. So to go to a city that you read about for years and you thought you were gonna be the black sex in the city, and not having any friends, it's always like it was depressing. So like, well, I want to go out, but I don't have anyone to call, And I also lived in New Jersey when I first moved here, so it was also the commute thing of, well, my train leaves at this time, so I can't really be out that late.
Right.
But as the years went on, I got a circle of friends. I started to go out more, and I thought this would really help other people.
Yeah.
If they come to the city and they want to know what to do.
Yeah, I love it because the way that the blog is written, you write it through that lens, and I feel like it's like you're writing for me. You're speaking directly to me. First of all, the name itself, like I always say, I don't do clubs because I don't do clubs. But then just like the little intricate details, like the age group that's going to be there, the crowd, the styles, what to wear, who you might see. And I really appreciate, I don't know if people tell you this, but I appreciate the fact that you do your due diligence to try to have like an even balance, for the guys out there. You guys are the ones that usually have to pay full price. But with I Don't Do Clubs, I feel like they get like discounts and
our events, usually, because guys don't like to come out.
Yeah.
So we try to get them to come out that
way.
I
love it. So what would you say is the career moment that you're still waiting for? Because I feel like you kind of like, you embrace everything and like have a really good kind of go with the flow kind of thing going on?
I'm waiting for a moment when I don't need the Ebony paycheck. Like, I could live off I don't do clubs. I wouldn't be super comfortable though. So I think when I know if I got fired from Ebony, everything would be completely okay.
Yeah.
Is when I would be like, okay, I finally feel good.
I love it.
Yeah.
All right. So I think that's the point that we're all trying to get to, right? You too. I know. I see you. So we always like to include you, the fans, and just getting some questions from them and seeing what they want to know. Can't leave them out. So let's go to Instagram where we posted a question to see what exactly they would like to know. Let's see. I hope you guys are behaving. All right, so I am Sam _18 wants to know, where do you see I Don't Do Clubs in the next 5 years?
In 5 years, I would like I Don't Do Clubs to cover all the cities the same way I cover New York. Like all the brunches, all the day parties. I think that's a great place to be. I would also like to have a better app. I had an app a few years ago. I kind of rushed it, honestly. Like I just I want to do an app. I didn't really think about every single step.
Right.
So I would like an app that really is knows what you're thinking. Like, okay, at this place, this time, and it'll give you an exact place to go, an exact place to eat, and what it might cost you. I would like that to happen.
Yeah.
So really, you don't have to like go to the site and kind of look. It can tell you where you should go.
I love it.
Or maybe an app that just already knows you, your personality, and will tell you these are the suggestions for you and what you like to do.
Yeah. I think that's doable, though.
Yeah, it's definitely doable. I mean,
yeah. Okay, so let's see. Miss _DeLovely wants to know, what was your process of developing I Don't Do Clubs? So we kind of already went into that, but they want to know more in depth in regards to what resources you use in terms of people. Did you reach out to other bloggers or writers to get advice before you started? Do you have any mentors that helped you along the way? No, this is it. She's like, no.
I didn't.
I get the definition of self-made, huh?
Well, I do have, if I have a technical problem that I can't figure out, I do have 2 designer development friends that I would reach out to, but pretty much it was all me.
Yeah.
I don't really talk about I Don't Do Clubs with my friends or my family. Like, people ask me, but I feel like that's my thing. Like, I don't need like a group to approve before I do something.
Yeah.
I just do kind of what I feel like
Ooh,
doing.
I need you to see, this is the moment where you got to talk to the people in the back of the church, make sure they hear. Just tell them that whole little spiel again about, not needing people to approve you.
I just think that you should do what you want to do and stop looking for acceptance from other people. If you feel like this is a good idea, go for it. Don't wait for your friends to tell you, oh, that's a good idea. It's just your life. Go for it.
Preach, girl. Preach. So I guess this was like a 3-part question. She also wants to know, what advice do you have for those trying to build their own blog, website, or business?
Figure out exactly what you want and then Google the hell out of it. Like, I want to do this. Let me read how this person did it. Let me read how this person failed at it. Let me read, some tips. Like, there are all these like tip sites. Just read a lot and then go for it. Because I have the background in digital, so it's a little different. But I'm sure a lot of bloggers kind of jump out and they get stuck because of the digital side or the technical side.
Right.
Maybe, reading more, even spending some money, because people don't want to spend any money either.
Yes.
People, and I can wing it because I work in this industry, but some people, you might have to put out that money so you don't have to work with the problems later on.
Right.
Yeah, I definitely had a site break, like the second week of I Don't Do Clubs. I don't know. I think I featured like some independent band or something, and that's because like my site had a lot of like little tinks that I didn't know because I kind of just winged it.
Yeah.
And I figured it out, but someone else might not have. So don't be afraid to spend money to have your dream be correct.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, there's a lot of quotables. I hope you guys were writing some stuff down. So just to piggyback off of what you said, I feel as though you have a very difficult job because I feel like anybody in kind of like the event planning or throwing industry, there's a lot of expectation that comes along with that.
True.
So I would like you to help.
I see where this is going.
Yeah. I would like you to help us to manage our expectations. So, few things. I would like to know what we should think about when choosing a place to like hang out and unwind.
Okay.
And how can we make sure that we have a good time? Because we'll blame everybody else, the weather, the DJ, blah, blah, blah. How can we make sure that we are having a good time and taking control of, the energy and the outcome of the night?
Okay, I think it's primarily your job to make sure you have a good time. If they have a DJ, if there's not a crazy line outside, if there's the air conditioning's on, like they've done their part,
Right.
a party promoter or even a venue. So complaining about, well, I didn't meet any guys, or guys didn't want to dance with me, like that's not anyone, like it's not necessarily your fault either. It's just maybe like you had an off night, or maybe the guys just weren't interested. But I think people just, and I don't want to say women because I just get tired of us always, bringing each other down. But like, you gotta relax.
Yeah.
You can't go out and think every time you go out you're gonna meet your husband. Like that's not. No one can guarantee. I can't guarantee that.
Right.
And other party promoters can't guarantee that. So just go out and have a good time, and probably you'll meet some people.
Right.
Doing that.
I gotcha. Because
Yeah.
I know that you must get a lot of email.
I do get a lot of. Not a lot. Sometimes I get emails that I feel like are completely understandable. I had an event with Ebony, my job, earlier this year, and the coat check line was crazy. Like I don't know what happened, but the line was so long that it was going into the party.
Yeah.
And they kind of like stopped the party a little bit. And
Right.
people complain about that, and that's a valid complaint. Like I'm sorry, I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
They had 4 people back there, but absolutely, I take that criticism, with no problem. But if you
Right.
complain that guys didn't dance with you, and complain that we were playing rap music, I don't really know where to go with that. And I
Right.
don't believe the customer's always right. And I say that all the time. Like, if you come to me sideways, I'm not going to be cheerful with you. Like,
Yeah.
if you wouldn't say it to my face, don't say it to me online.
Yeah. Ooh, that was a read. That was a read. But you are very correct.
Yeah.
So is that why you call yourself the side eye originator? Where did that come from?
I don't know when that started, but I mean, every time people say,
Oh, I think you said she calls herself the original.
I think on one page. That's true.
Not the second, not the third, the original.
Because whenever I'm at an
side
event, people
eye.
somehow always catch me like side eyeing someone before it was even called.
Wait,
a side eye.
let me like how you do it? Let me.
I don't know why. That's just kind of. My mom does it. My dad does it. I feel like it's hereditary, but I don't know. I don't know. I read my emotions on my face, and sometimes that's a bad thing too, because sometimes I'm not mad. I'm just maybe I'm thinking about something else, but it reads that I'm like not having a good day.
I gotcha. I love the fact that with this site, though, you do allow people to submit events.
Yeah, that's mostly what the site is. It's not mostly my events. It's mostly submissions.
So how do you come up with how much you were going to pay, charge people in order to have their event listed?
Okay.
And then my follow-up question is, has there ever been a time where you had to turn away someone, not because they didn't follow the criteria that you were asking for, but ethically or morally you felt uncomfortable about whatever it was?
Okay. I didn't always charge. The first 2 years I didn't charge. And right when I had my breakdown, a blogger who I admire, respect, Joy from the Fab Empire. I don't know if you've heard of the Fab Empire.
Yes, I have.
I saw her in an event. She also works in media. Like, she works at ABC. And she was like, "Oh, girl, how's it going?" I just kind of like, "Oh, girl, da, 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 da." And she was like, "Well, you gotta start charging."
Yeah.
I was like, "Well, people won't submit." And she's like, "You're right." And I didn't think she was gonna say that. She's like, "Well, they won't submit for a while, but eventually they'll see the value of what you're doing, and they'll start to pay." So I did start to do that, because my inbox before then was just out of control. Like, I could never keep up. I would work all weekend, and after work, and I would wake up and it would be filled again.
Yeah.
And then people wouldn't really follow the criteria, so I was trying to be nice. I'm like, "Well, you're creating more work for me." So when I started charging, I got more serious inquiries. And when I first started, I think it was $10.
Right.
Then I went to 12. Now it's 15. It'll probably be at 15 for a while, but I think that's not high at all.
No, that's pretty good.
If you really want to promote your event, honestly, I should be charging a lot more.
Yeah.
But I want people to still reach the people.
Yeah.
And I don't want you to feel like your brunch can't be on Island Be Closed because you don't have $200 for your one post.
Yeah.
As far as turning people down, all the time. If you send me a club event, no. If you send me a event with a girl's ass out, no. If you send me anything that I feel like it's going to be, if I find offensive, I know my readers will find offensive, and I don't need your $15 that much. Mm-hmm. So.
Ooh, girl. Yes. So just to wrap things up, we went through a lot. You gave a lot of great information about the brand and how you grew it and developed it. Let's talk more about you now.
Okay.
Just some things that you would like your readers to know about you, the person. Some fun facts, like, behind the scenes, we're talking about you playing the piano and all these things, little tidbits to help them get to know you, the person, more.
Okay, I did play the piano for most of my childhood. I also took tap for most of my childhood. My parents were really into the arts. I was a cheerleader, I ran track. What else did I do?
What do you like to do for fun? What are, like, your guilty pleasures? What's your favorite drink?
My favorite drink currently is a Moscow Mule,
Ooh.
which is vodka, lime, and ginger beer. I love ginger beer.
Okay.
I really like, my guilty pleasure, I guess, is hanging out with my friends. I really like just being around people that I kind of already know. They don't want to talk about I don't do clubs. They want to talk about like regular stuff.
Yeah.
Over happy hour or something. And I do love my Netflix. So things like that. And I like trying new places in New York. I like to be a tourist sometimes. Like the day parties are cool, but your city probably has a ton of other things to offer except even outside of that. You should also check those things out. I
love it. Well, it was so great talking with you. And I just want to thank you for having the courage, you know, to turn your passion into your paycheck. It's rough out here, you know, take that leap of faith. It's rough. So I really appreciate it. Can you just let everyone know where they can follow you and keep up with the brand?
You can follow all my social media accounts, Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, at I Don't Do Clubs. And you can follow the website, I Don't Do Clubs, at idon'tdoclubs.com.
I love it. So if you guys enjoyed this interview as much as I did, I need you to let me know. Don't be stingy. All right, I need you to like, I need you to comment, I need you to subscribe, tell all your friends. And then also, if you know someone that you think like, you know, I think that they would be good to be on the show, I think you should let me know that. Please and thank you in the comments. All right, until next time, bye.